Can you imagine no phones?
Last year there was not a drop of water in the system and the plants grew. This year there has been some rain, but still, I mean, it's dry. It hasn't rained in months practically. And yet we're seeing these healthy plants without irrigation, without feeding. It's just the perfect place for this landrace.
That's hunt.
Here we really find something really interesting.
How you do the stills with the macro? How you do that?
Look, wanna just do now one fast so we can see a little bit of crystals.
Oh wow, yeah. Crazy.
You can see it's a lot.
Yeah.
You know, with the naked eyes it's very difficult to see, but when you can see here the formation is really good.
Yeah. This is one of the nicest plants we've
Almost
seen, guys.
without nonsense.
And look, and they're getting brown already. This is the maximum size of the buds in Transkei. It's like a little finger. You see? Look.
It's some of the only buds we've seen that is actually maturing, you know?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Look.
The plant
Probably here the conditions are better than in the rest of the valley. They have better temperature, you know, maybe a little bit less cold.
Also, frost had zero impact here.
I was not expecting we were more deeper, the plants gets better, you know, it's just strange because at the beginning was some kind of problems, but the plants, some plants here are really,
I think
really
here,
good.
I think it's here more remote and people are more depending on this plant and working harder to get this back
That
to
makes
town.
sense, they take
You know,
much more
because this
care.
is only half, they cannot grow nothing else here. That's zero, yeah.
Not more options.
Getting into these fields also, for the first time, we smell this amazing terpenes, and we also got to move along the valley and to collect seeds as we go, you know, at different altitudes. Part of what that's about is to study the plant, but I think, you know, for all of us, it's really important that what we want to do is ensure that the ownership of these strains stays with the local people, and the ideal situation would be if we can help people register the strain in the name of the Amaponda.
Come, Oscar, let's have a look here. There's some nice plants.
Okay. So, you ever seen that? Smell it.
Yeah, these two, yes.
Look at the structure. What is your expertise, I just? It's freak.
What the shape?
Oscar, look at that big one there.
Wow,
Let's
that's
go
another champion.
There's another champion. Let's have a look there.
Wow. How tall you are?
This one, I'm 187, that's here. There's another
Wow.
50, so this is 230.
Okay.
It's by far the biggest plant we've seen.
You look inside here. It's
And smell it. This is the ultimate plant we have found here, eh? In size
I
and in
wish to
nuggets.
smoke
Look,
this properly.
look here.
dried, eh?
This
I
is
tell you.
nearly getting yield. Look. Purple one under.
Under
This is- wow, look, this one is more purple.
This is the more purple we saw until now. Wow.
Oh, smell this,
It's
eh?
completely frosty, the calyx. Look the calyx. Let's
And look this soil, guys.
Yeah, we are in the sun.
In the sand.
It's
eh?
sand.
Look here.
If you are in
Look
the
how dry.
beach,
But then you can see when you take plants out of nature and you start growing them in glass houses and indoor, they get weaker and weaker, the system.
happen the same with the humans, no? You put in a house and you give them some food and
Yeah.
they get weaker, no?
Well, look, this is where Ebola and Corona came from now. Put all the animals in small cages. Now nobody does nothing about the sugar. So people are getting bigger and bigger and more problems.
Aye.
Exactly.
We fucked up.
Yo guys, I think I found an indoor plant. Look at the resin and the smell.
Oh, smell this one. This one smells better than the other one.
The,
See that?
at least in production, the best one we saw.
Yeah,
until
check the
now.
trichomes.
From the day one.
Wow. This is a nice plant. Eh?
It's not one problem, man.
You should also here you see the difference in farmers. Eh? One farmer does a much better job. Look how clean the floor is here.
Unexpected.
This is really
Unexpected. Yeah.
We can call this genetic unexpected.
Well, let's grab a sample of this one as well.
Yeah.
When you go in really remote areas, a lot of time it's a hassle to get the water, to get the nutrients, to get everything where they are, you know, because it's all super illegal. And the advantage they have here, well, for them it's even a problem. They have too much water, you know, because we talked with one of the farmer and his only problem was getting flooded by the river when it's getting high, you know.
For all the expeditions, this one was the more strange because, like that said, here the problem is the opposite. Sometimes it's too much water, and for the conditions, for me, it's the greener plants we saw and healthy, because even in the night the humidity is 100%. It's like raining all time here in the night, and the plants don't get even powder mildew, you know, and they don't get a lot of problems, you know. So I never see plants stronger than these ones. So for me, was really impressive.
Can you ask him why this field is much better than other fields we see?
Kufuneka kube clean xa ulima iphena izibheyisi ingadibani. Isihlahla sibe phaya esinye sibe la iphena nje izibheyisi ungene umoya.
Okay, he said you must be clean under the tree.
Yeah.
And then you must open the space.
Yes.
So that it can just grow big.
So he pull a lot of small plants to give space to big ones?
Yes, he put a lot of small plants around the plant so that the plant can go.
And how long is he a grower?
97.
97?
Yeah, he was started around
So
97.
24 years. And from who he learned?
Ndifundiswe ngumother wam.
From mother?
Yes.
Okay.
How did they figure out that they had to space out the plant and leave a little bit of
If you
maize?
figure out alone, or
Yeah.
who somebody said do like this.
Yeah, it's his parents. He was teaching them
They were
to
already
open
doing
the
it.
space.
And he have children.
Ungabona abantwana?
He gonna teach his children to do this as well.
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Okay, that is nice.
Why don't you grow food? We haven't seen food along the river.
He didn't recognize but the veggies he can grow around this soil.
The soil is too much problematic.
I have another question.
Yeah.
What do they feel about other people? I've heard that the government's giving licenses to people and that some people are getting, rich people are getting licenses. How does it make them feel?
Ndicinga ubana kungona ngona athi sawutsho sifumane umsebenzi.
Yeah, he said he think maybe if there's those big guys they getting a license, maybe he can get a job from them.
This guy, he has a question for you.
Yeah, ungabuza.
Bengicela ukubuza uba thina sibamnyama ngeke sikwazi ukufuna incwadi.
Can black people get a license is his question. It's not about who you are, it's about money. You need 5 million rand to afford all the things for a license right now. And that's what everyone is very upset about. I know Oscar and Ariane and everyone say it's crazy, you know, that you can only get a license for 5 million. There's no ways that any company should be able to commercialize this, you know, for profit. Such a beautiful asset for the Amaponda people. It's their cultural heritage, it's their resource, and I think that for all of us it's just this amazing realization that what we're doing here is not about like collecting